Well, hunger doesn't go on vacation just because school lets out. We're the most awesome state in the richest country in the world, and like a quarter of our kids are either in poverty or at the edge of poverty. Like, you can't learn if you're hungry, right? I mean, it's that basic. So if all of the kids, right, who are getting fed, if all of them were getting fed in the summer, whether that's by a library or a community center or a church or whoever it happens to be, right, that would be the ideal.
Public libraries are natural spaces for providing children and teens with meals during the summer. They're trusted spaces at the heart of the community. They're popular with families. And also, library staff are able to provide programming and resources along with the meal service. And so more and more public libraries are now starting to serve meals, and more families are going to the library for those meals. Library staff are also collaborating with other summer meal sites in the community. They're taking programming and books and creating pop-up libraries that can attract families to other sites and increase summer learning and enrichment opportunities throughout the community.
We'll see all types of families, young children, teens, and their parents or their grandparents or their caregivers coming in, and not only the youth connecting, but those parents and caregivers connecting as well. So there's just so many benefits to that. And then while they're here in the library for the meal program, they're getting connected to everything else we have in the library that they never knew, of course. Oh, the library does that? Yeah, we do, right?
It's really about providing a service that they need and then showing them everything else that they can get for free. And we see that time after time again, because they come in for meals and then they'll walk around the corner and sign up for summer reading, and then they realize that we have story times for their baby, and then they start coming to baby story times. And then they'll look even larger and branch out and realize that they have something for their older teenager, something for that teen to actually do to keep them busy during the summer. So it's really just opening them up to what a library can offer for their entire family.
There's a lot of families that do not have the income to feed their children those 3 meals a day. So coming to the library and just having that one meal is it's a huge help.
I normally rely on school lunch and school breakfast, but during their summer school program, they only offer free breakfast, not free lunch. So we find it very beneficial that I'll pick them up and then we'll come straight away here. And it is a huge blessing, huge blessing.
By feeding the kids, we're also allowing the parents to eat the food that they have at home. These families are hungry. There's food insecurities in our communities. And if we can feed their kids through a federal program, that means that those parents can go home and eat the food that they have in their fridges now.
In California, 1.7 million children who eat free or reduced price lunches during the school year do not access summer meals during the summer. And so it's so important that we expand all sorts of meal sites, whether they're in libraries or elsewhere. And so our goal is to continue encouraging more libraries to become summer meal sites, to make more meals accessible to children and provide nutritious meals for the children and teens who need them. We know that libraries are offering a wide variety of learning and enrichment programs over the summer, and children will be able to learn so much more from those programs and get so much more from those programs if they're not hungry when they're participating in them.
We're meeting the entire needs of every person in that family. And when you talk about summer meals, what you're ultimately doing is feeding people. Bottom line is that these people are eating. That's a hierarchical thing. You know, you can't succeed in other places of life if you are not fed, if you do not have a warm place to be, if you do not have clothes on your back. So for a public library to meet that basic necessity so that we can ensure that other things come to this family and that they have success in other ways, that is summer reading.
I'm struck more and more in this job by the passion that librarians bring to their work. When I see this program working, and I'm of an age, right, where the library's like, I'm sorry, there's noise. Like in my library as a kid, there was no noise. Somebody would stop, right? The food, like you couldn't bring food in there. And here are these things where these families and these kids and they're, right? There's noise, there's mess, there's all this stuff. And to a person, right, the librarians are like into it and see the value of it, not just for the people who are being served, but for the library, right? And for kind of the community at large. And it's killer. That's just unbelievably awesome.